Sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning, happy Tuesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, early break, full show ahead. We'll talk to Rick Kaczynski next segment, Robin Wash at 7:25. I hope you're all having a better Tuesday morning than John Gruden is today, who is no longer employed as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. You heard there during the update there before our show that he was resigned. He was going to get fired, but he resigned because of a bunch of emails came out over the last 10 years or so of some poor language choices in emails regarding some things.
When does this all go down? I mean, what time yesterday, you know?
I'm glad you asked. I was watching Monday Night Football, and this is right before halftime. So I'm going to say this is about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter of Colts-Ravens, so probably around 8:15 or so.
Oh, okay, so it was pretty late. And it was breaking during the game?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I was at Buffalo Wings and Rings, so I missed that.
Which I'm surprised because they have a bunch of TVs on there that probably had a lot of TVs on the NFL game itself.
Almost every game was on it. But
they just chose to not look at it at all.
Well,
it's fine.
I might have just missed it. No, I saw Jonathan Taylor's catch and run.
That was impressive.
Yeah. How's he doing there?
He's doing all right. He's not like unbelievable, but he's solid.
Yeah,
he's solid.
Okay.
He had some really good runs last night.
Who won that game?
The Colts were up 22-3 late in the third quarter and lost the football game.
Holy God.
The Ravens, Lamar Jackson got hot. When he gets going, he's tough to stop with his legs. He had some good passes. The Colts missed 2 field goals. They had a field goal block. They would have gave a 10-point lead. Then they had a chance to win in regulation, and the field goal went left, and he knew the game was over at that point, which it was. Yeah. Ravens win last night. Epic comeback.
Vegas Bobcat, by the way, says, do you live in a cave? Me, he's talking about.
I wonder that sometimes.
Oh, stop. Why would you say that?
You missed the light show in the Northwestern game, and you came on the show to begin yesterday before anything else, wanting to talk about how awesome the light show was, which was the exact same thing as it was the previous
week. It was
week,
incredible.
As it was against Northwestern.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen at Memorial Stadium. It is.
What about Farm Aid?
Okay, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool. But
I thought Garth Brooks is pretty cool at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
You weren't there for that.
No, I wasn't. That non-football, just I'd say presentation of something. That's easily the coolest thing I've ever seen, including the tunnel walk. That Jake, that State Patrol helicopter view of it that's making the rounds on social media. God, I watched 10 times yesterday.
Doesn't surprise me.
Think about if you were flying over Lincoln and you saw that. If you were in a commercial flight, just you'd look down and be like, whoa, look at that. Right.
Speaking of that, real quick, I'm in terms of flying over Lincoln. I'm curious. I didn't say this on the air yesterday, but I want to say it now. Did anybody before the game see what I saw? Are
you bringing this to the
air? Yeah. When they had the anthem playing and the pilot, the 3 planes were coming over the stadium, there was a plane that was right in their path. I said, "Oh my God, we're about to see epic carnage! Please don't hit that plane." I don't know what happened. Someone's got to explain to me how that plane was able to fly in that area. But if you looked up in the sky when those planes were coming over, there was a plane that was going right below them or right above them. I don't know where it was, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is bad."
You thought there could be a collision.
Yeah, if there's a replay of this, look at the other plane that's coming from a different angle. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, please don't." And it did.
I wonder if anybody else saw that.
I don't know.
Did Seth see it?
Yes. Did you see that plane? Like, yeah, what the heck was that all about?
Yeah, weird. Well,
if anybody else saw that, please confirm I'm not crazy. But I was terrified for a split second about a potential huge issue happening there.
Do you think that anybody's going to confirm that you're not crazy? I don't think that's going to happen.
In response to
that's not going to happen for me. I will tell you that right now.
Fat Phil says in the text line, there is something about the nonchalant way that Jake says, quote, That doesn't surprise me. In response to Sip always talking about something he did that just makes me laugh. Sorry.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I don't live in a cave. What was I doing? I was with Dominic and Alex, grandsons, last night. We went to Buffalo Wings and Rings, and they mostly talk NBA. So
Jordan says, I did see that plane. The angle looks like it was closer, but it was concerning at the time.
okay, so somebody else
Yeah,
saw it.
I'm telling you that if there's any sort of video of that, I know the video that you're talking about of the helicopter, showing the third quarter into the fourth quarter festivities. That's sweet. What was not sweet was before the game, the plane I thought I was going to hit the other plane.
That still has you shaken up.
Someone says, I saw the almost plane crash. You aren't crazy. I'm telling you, man.
Whoa.
If
really?
there's footage of this somewhere out there, I want to tweet it at me at 937 Jake Sorensen, because I want to make sure that Sip sees what I thought was a close encounter
I believe you.
to a disaster.
I just
before
wonder,
the
I wonder
game.
what those radio. I wonder that. See, here's the thing: those guys flying those jets, they would avoid it. I mean, they know what they're doing. Now, why was that plane in that airspace
Correct.
at that time? That's a good question.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Is that.
That feels like human error to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that almost sounds like a story to be reported on.
Someone should get into that then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone should research that at the Journal Star and do some digging.
Research it.
Why was there a plane right there with the three other planes coming over the stadium?
Yeah, let's talk about the yesterday.
464-5685, call or text as always. The news that's not a surprise, but we didn't want to hear it, was announced yesterday. Sip was Teddy Prochazka is indeed out for the season with a leg injury. So he had made really, he was having a good season in his limited time he was there. The Northwestern game he was excellent in. He was really good in his time against Michigan for the most part.
Good, yeah.
And now he will no longer be playing this season. So it's back to what we knew to begin the year of Turner Corcoran at left tackle and Bryce Benhart at right tackle.
Right. And Teddy, it's a knee injury. He'll be back in the spring, according to Frost. There's no word if maybe he'd get this year back, and Frost didn't even want to get into that. It's a little early. His concern was Teddy Prochazka's health. So yeah, that was expected. Other than that, no real big news from the press conference, right? It was, I would say, however, that it was a sort of an interesting press conference.
Why would you say that?
Well, there was a lot there. Everything from Turner Corcoran saying that, there's a lot of praise of Adrian yesterday. I don't know if it was mostly the product of reporters asking questions about Adrian and coming back from that rough end to the game the other night. And Turner Corcoran, had that quote about him being a tough son of a bitch.
I like that quote.
Yeah, it was a good quote. And Adrian, it's interesting when you listen to these guys, even the guys on defense that state emphatically, oh, Adrian's the leader of this team. There's no doubt who the leader of this team is. So that says a lot about Adrian. Anything else strike you? There's a few things that struck me. Oh, well, we'll get to the Trev Alberts stuff. I thought that was actually the most interesting thing to me.
Then let's get into that right now. Other than that, yeah, it was a pretty simple presser. Nothing breaking news besides the Prochazka injury, which is again is a bummer for this team. But that's pretty much the emphasis of what the presser was.
Yeah, and the overall mood. You asked the question on the rundown before we get to Alberts. The overall mood. I don't think this is a team that's going to have a letdown. They seem pretty intent. You wonder, I know what you wonder, and I wonder the same thing, is at what point, they're human, and they keep coming up close in these very emotional and intense affairs. And is the tank, how's the tank doing?
Well, Scott Frost was asked how have the guys avoided emotional letdowns so far after heartbreaking losses yesterday.
Right.
I'm not really worried about this game from an energy and enthusiasm standpoint. When you're running sprints and you have to do 20 of them, it's not the 20th one that gets you. It's the 16th, 17th, 18th one. The guys know that we got a little break coming up after this game. We've been trying to take care of them. So Minnesota's got a good team. They're well coached. It's on the road. It's going to be tough, but I don't think our guys will fail to prepare and be ready for it.
All right, Jake. It's not the 20th win sprint that gets you. It's the 16th or 17th. I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, as a non-sprinter for me,
Right.
I agree with that. I don't know.
I
wouldn't get that either.
Oh, I mean, listen, I think it's reasonable to be concerned about that element of this game. Minnesota had a bye week. They're coming off of a bye week. Nebraska's coming off a very difficult home night loss against a very, very physical team.
That's right.
In fact, Nebraska's, they've played 2 physical teams in the last 3 weeks. I mean, I would never call Fitzgerald's team physical. I don't know what that team is. They've
had a
your
rough
boy,
year.
your boy.
I'm sure they'll bounce back next year
Yeah,
and
I'm
be
sure they
contending
will.
for the West because they do that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
They
what
go
they'll do.
good, bad, good,
I'm
bad.
Sure that's what they'll do. Sure. Hey, they were really well prepared.
Next year. Now, you know what they're saying? Watch out next year, buddy.
Yeah,
We're coming for you.
We're only going to win 1 this year, but have they won 1?
Yes, they've won 2 games.
Have they won 2?
They beat Ohio and they beat somebody else.
That's pretty good. No, I think it's a really valid concern. Nebraska's situation compared to Minnesota's. Minnesota coming off a bye week. It seems, I don't know. It's a tough situation for sure, in my opinion. And that definitely gives Minnesota an
Minnesota
advantage.
is without their first and second best running back. Potts is out for the year with an injury.
Right.
Of course, Ibrahim got hurt against Ohio State in the first game.
Right.
So they're down to the third string running back with still a good offensive line, but it is your third string running back.
Absolutely, that's true. That definitely helps Nebraska's situation. These guys. Stay on Minnesota here before we get to Trev Alberts. Austin Allen, as you know, has a way of getting to the heart of matters, and he was asked about the 2 straight wins that Minnesota has in the series, and he says, I think it just comes down to that they were the more physical team that day. They were the more disciplined team that day. He said that's really all football comes down to. I wonder if you agree with this. That's really all football comes down to is who's the more physical team and who's the more disciplined team. And I think on those 2 particular days, they were the more physical and disciplined team. That's
pretty much hitting the nail on the head there.
It is. God, it's hard to. And
Well,
Ben Stilley said, well, they ran downhill on us. So I said I'd say they were the more physical.
Which is why when you watch this team this year, Nebraska's physical. In the past with Mike Riley teams, they weren't very physical and they got blown out in these Big Ten games.
Right.
And the first part of the Frost era, they had some games they got blown out because they weren't very physical. This team was as physical as Michigan was. Those guys are big. They were tough. And Nebraska, they got pushed around a little bit, but they also pushed their defensive line around a little bit in the third quarter and fourth quarter.
Yeah, before they were whooping and hollering during the
That's
light
right.
show.
After
before
they given 22 points in the quarter previous to that. So bunch of morons there.
Joking. Anyway, Frost said, I think we were 4-2 and went up there 2 years ago. He was right. Frost was right. There 2 years ago, Nebraska went up there 4-2. And this is what he said. We played really uninspired football. I had the feeling as a head coach, we had some of our kids who really didn't want to be there. It was a little cold. It was spitting rain. We didn't play tough that night. I don't think Minnesota will see a team like that. That's that quote. I had a feeling as a head coach, we had some of our kids who really didn't want to be there. Ugh.
At 4-2. Oh, by the way,
know.
They just had that ugly, terrible win against Northwestern where you had your field goal go through 8 people's hands and into the uprights to win the game, and you had been blown out by Ohio State 2 games prior to that. But come on, you were playing still. You still had a chance at the division at that point if you win that game. I know it's that you weren't that great of a team, but how can you have that mindset in that game?
I don't know. And
you could tell from the get-go, they were bad. They were really never in that football game.
And that was the hoodie thing. That Frost didn't like guys out there with hoodies on, right?
He did not like that.
Yeah. He said, I asked him, so where's this team different than what that team was? Where's it grown up? And he just said, we have more kids who love each other and love the team and love football. I don't think we'd see that colossal of a letdown this game. I don't know. This is going to test them. 11 a.m. kickoff. You know how that goes. It's a little sleepy. It gets to something that Frost said it would really be helpful to jump out on top in this game.
Well, we'll get to that later on in the show. I think it's important that Nebraska pounces like they did against Northwestern to take away any doubt about, hey, we should be a better football team than these guys. I expect a very close game. I expect Nebraska, Minnesota to be tight.
Great.
Once again, because why wouldn't I? Minnesota, I'll say it. I like PJ Fleck.
Ugh.
I know they had the bad loss to Bowling Green, but they have still been a good team in his time there. You even said earlier this year you started to like PJ Fleck.
I know.
You did.
I know. Respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Let's go. Respect PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
You think he is? I mean, he knows what's on the table. Minnesota's still fighting for a bowl game too. They're 3-2 right now. If they lose this game, they go 3-3. They can still get there, but it's not like it's a given they get to a bowl game. They gotta win these games as well if they want to get to the postseason. So, here's the question I have for you and the listeners: 464-5685. If Nebraska were to lose on Saturday, which is very possible, Sip, you and I expect a tight game in Minneapolis. Does that effectively end their chance at the postseason?
At 3-5,
right,
with 4 games to go,
would you say that they're going to miss the postseason if they lose?
If they
Minnesota,
if the requirement is to win 6, I mean, I think there's some talk.
There's
some talk that they could win 5 and get
okay.
in.
Well, let's say the requirement is 6, as it has been for a long time.
At 3-5 with 4 to go, and 3 in which you're going to be an underdog. Oh, it'd be really hard. It'd be really hard to do it. I mean, you're going to have to, of Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa, you'd have to win 2. You'd have to beat 2 of those teams.
I know.
You got to win this game.
We have said many times this year it's a must-win game for Nebraska. They have not won those. They beat Northwestern, which I don't think we were saying the same thing. Michigan State, we said you got to win this game. This is a big one to get a road win to get back to level in Big Ten play and set the tone for the rest of the season. They had it won. They blew it. They lost. Same thing as Michigan. They had it won. They blew it. They lost, and here we are at 1-3.
Right. See, I think that takes a toll on you as a player. I could be. I mean, they're human. They know the situation, and they're thinking like you, but they got to get up and practice every day and lift and study. That'll affect you.
The conversation is so weird right now because I think, again, as we said on Monday, that the way this team has played, they've lost close games, but they look like a good football team.
I know. But you got to
imagine how much that switches though if Nebraska loses to Minnesota on Saturday.
Conversation switches.
Because I think right now I sit here saying that Scott Frost is a safe man. He's going to be here next year. He's going to have a chance to get this team to a bowl game if they don't somehow this year. But I mean, when you are right on that line of okay to not okay, and you lose a game like Minnesota on the road to a team that's not bad, but they're not great. They got injuries. That's when you start seeing that conversation flip to the negative side again.
Yeah, exactly. But it's weird. It's weird. These conversations are very strange to me because in one breath, we sing PJ Fleck's praises for what he's done with Minnesota's program. And in the next breath, we just mark a win. I mean, now you're not marking a win. But
it's Minnesota?
Yeah.
No,
you're not marking a win.
I'm going to pick Nebraska to win probably, but not more than 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's
tight game.
Kind of in the boat I'm at. And then the whole Alberts discussion that cropped up yesterday, Trev Alberts, the AD, it's very interesting what Frost said. In my opinion, it was interesting that, we knew, I think you knew, a lot of people knew that Frost and Trev get together every Sunday and talk about the previous Saturday's game, which is interesting in itself. But Trev actually went down in the locker room after the Michigan game and encouraged the players. And on Sunday, stopped and talked to each assistant coach Sunday during their work day, stopped and talked to each Nebraska assistant coach individually, told them how proud he was of what the team did on Saturday. Frost said it's been nice to have him show us support like that. don't know if I don't know what to read into that. If anything, it feels like, it doesn't feel like, okay. It doesn't feel like Steve Peterson, Frank Solich situation where I wrote today, and I've told you before, there was times where, well, they didn't have a relationship. There was no relationship. Frank told me of the time they went, he just happened upon Peterson in the locker room, two guys working out, and there was no words exchanged. So obviously Frost's relationship with his AD is much different than that, right? Those stories about Pelini and Eichhorst are legendary, that when Pelini needed to talk to Eichhorst, he couldn't get a hold of him. And then there came a time where he had to go through Jamie Williams for things. It was just that they set it up that way. Well, the way the coaches looked at it back then was, there's a set, and we're getting fired. I mean, that's what's going on here. Now that doesn't feel
just
like
a great way to coach, isn't it? Just a great way to coach. Well, let's just get the season over with. We're gonna be fired.
Well, soon. I mean, I shouldn't make light of it, because think about that. That's your livelihood. I mean, if your boss was not talking to you, I don't care what would you think?
Well, my employment's about to end here.
If your boss just wouldn't take your calls, wouldn't talk to you, wouldn't engage you, you would think that. Anybody would think that. Now, Trev doing that, the way he approaches it, I mean, I don't know what to make of that, except it does show a level of support, right? I mean,
yeah, has to.
Yeah, and him telling those assistants, I'm proud of what you guys did. I mean, I guess on a very surface level, it doesn't feel like he's getting ready to fire anybody, right?
Well, again, the season still has 5 games to go. Right now, it does not feel that way. But again, if this spirals out of control, which I don't see happening, then that conversation changes. But as we sit here right now, I don't think that's where he sits.
It's a strange thing. I mean, it's a solid team, and it's a team capable of. I mean, would you be surprised if Nebraska beat Iowa, the second-ranked team in the country?
With the way they're playing right now, no.
See, it's a strange conversation. Did you see the strangeness? I don't know. Do you get ready to fire a coach whose team's capable of beating the number 2 team in the country, and you wouldn't be surprised by it? I wouldn't be surprised if on Black Friday Nebraska wins that game. Wouldn't be surprised. I expect a close game. So it's a strange. It's not like they're getting whooped,
Yeah, it's different this year because they're actually in it all 4 quarters to the very end. It's not closing it out.
Yeah.
Chris says. It's a call from Chris on the Honda of Lincoln hotline 464-5685. Chris, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Good morning, Steve Jake.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing this morning?
Really good, Steve. Really good.
Thank you.
Listen, I think that's a good sign, Steve, that Trev Alberts and Scott are, they're 2 football guys. So you know what? They know what's going on, and one isn't going to buffalo the other one. That's for sure. I mean, they both know what they're talking about. They got deep roots here. Hey, I think that's great that they're talking.
Yeah, I do too. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's an interesting, you know how it is, Chris. You've worked for different bosses. Some bosses manage differently than others, and obviously Trev is very upfront with his people.
Yes, it is. You sometimes you have to adjust to different personalities.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Now, guys, on the game this Saturday.
On the game.
Boy, we keep talking about these games being big games, important games.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And you're right. Here's another one. I was checking some statistics last night. Somehow, now, if you guys remember last year, Minnesota's defense was atrocious. I mean, it was horrible. And, but this year, actually, statistically, their defense ranks ahead of Michigan's. And let's not forget, you guys, Minnesota has played the best offense in the country right now, Ohio State. That includes a good game against them. So now, offensively, you guys, they're like Iowa. They're averaging just a few a few pennies over 300 yards a game, which incredibly, I don't know how Iowa's doing it with turnovers over there. There's no doubt about that. Turnovers
special teams
and a good defense.
And no, special teams too. Special teams, Iowa. Chris, don't leave out special teams. They're great on special teams.
Yes, just like Michigan. I tell you what, you guys, Saturday, watching that kicker from Michigan kick those field goals and extra points, it was like that ball was shot out of a cannon when it left his foot. I think that guy had a leg, and he was accurate. And the punter the same way. The first punt, sitting up there in the west balcony, the first punt, I thought, oh my God, look at this kick, And and it shows you how important special teams are in games, especially close games. But guys, this Minnesota team, to me, we really need to win this game. If we do not win this game, we have to kick the can down the road a little bit, which means we've got to beat the number 2 team the day after Thanksgiving, which I think is beatable. I like our chances against Iowa, Steve Jake, more than I do against Ohio State. Ohio State seems to be rounding into form right now, and that offense is scary, even with the freshman quarterback. But Iowa, I think, can be had, and Wisconsin, I think so too. But Steve, Jake, that Wisconsin defense still scares me. They're only giving up 40 yards a game on the ground, and it's about a yard and a half per rush. So it'll be a struggle up there at Wisconsin. But guys, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to these last 5 games, and boy, we really need to get to a bowl game this year. That's for sure in this 4th year of the regime. So, Steve, Jake, listen, guys, great show. I'm going to hang up here and listen.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Chris.
Okay, here's a question for you, Jake.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we keep doing it. We started it with Illinois, and we do it every week. I did it with Michigan State. It's the biggest game in Frost tenure. It's the biggest game in Frost tenure. Now, this is the biggest game.
It's the biggest game in Frost tenure this Saturday. The goalposts keep moving,
I just
baby.
don't know if that's a way to live. I don't know.
Well, if you keep losing the games that are the biggest one, the next one becomes the biggest one.
Sometimes I think we need to reassess a little bit the way
we have
approach
reassessed.
But is this fun? Are you having fun with this?
I enjoy the games being competitive. I don't enjoy every week being life or death.
Right. Harrison, I mean, is this a fun season? Okay,
which
fun.
We knew going.
All right,
we knew going in it was going to be probably anywhere from 4 to 7, and maybe at the absolute best 8 wins. Absolute best.
Right.
So we knew it was going to be like this the whole way through. We expected this with the schedule. There's going to be pins and needles every week about, oh my gosh, are we going to get to the bowl game? Are we going to win the game in general we're playing? These are all tough teams.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. Remember,
you've only really blown one game you shouldn't have, Illinois. Everything else is an acceptable loss, although painful.
I mean, there were people in the preseason that would question Nebraska. Oh, it's not that hard of a schedule. It's just a big, come on. I hope those people just understand how stupid that sounds. This has been an enormously difficult schedule. To answer my own question, has this been fun? I would say the last 2 weeks were super fun.
Well, they were, yeah.
I mean, because in the light show. I mean,
the one that you missed the first week,
right? But the blowout and the night game against Northwestern, followed by the incredible game against Michigan, that was fun, and it was fun up to a point. then it got really. It got really weird. Vince is on the line again.
Vince. We got time for a quick call because we're behind the time.
Vince, bring it.
Vince Napa, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How are you?
As well as can be expected in this world. Yeah.
No, yes, yeah. Well, anyway, I think it was Dirk Shaitlin that put this out. Yeah, yesterday. It was the path to a bowl game, and I think he had it as okay. Obviously, I mean, Purdue's the game you got to get, And also, and like the 2 home games, you have Ohio State and Iowa get no worse than a split. And in the road games, you have this game here against Minnesota and the road game against Wisconsin get no worse than a split, which I agree with all of that. But here's what I would advocate. I would advocate win this game at Minnesota and then beat Purdue. That way you have your 5th win before the calendar hits November. And then the last 3 games, that gives you 3 chances to win 1 game rather than having to put all of your eggs in one basket, near the end of the season. So, and as far as, this whole dichotomy of, well, this is the biggest game, that's the biggest game. I look at it like this. The most important game is the one you're playing. This week it's Minnesota.
Right.
2 weeks from now it's going to be Purdue. I mean, to me, that kind of simplifies things. Relevant to a letdown, any portion of a letdown, I look at it like this: if you can't get up for a Minnesota team that has clowned your ass, 2 of the last 3 years, then to me, you shouldn't be on this football team. Because here's the thing, guys. I don't want to row the boat. I don't even want to rock the boat. You want to know what I want to do? I want to capsize the boat with PJ in it. You know what? Remember that? You remember that Karate Kid scene where Mr. Miyagi's rocking the boat and Daniel Son has to learn balance? You know what I do?
What?
Get in that leg, start shaking that boat back and forth. Learn balance, PJ. Learn balance.
Thank you, Vince. Appreciate it. Capsize the boat.
Capsize the boat.
I was waiting for that. There it was at the very end.
Yeah, there it was.
There's the fire.
Vince, that was beautiful.
So at 4:30 his time in California.
He's rolling. He's up.
Who has that energy at 4:30?
You do.
Not at 4:30. I'm still asleep.
Oh. Nice work, Vince.
Rick Kaczynski is up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Breezy but warm here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 77. Southeast winds at around 15 to 20. Overnight, we'll see increasing cloud cover, a low of 58. A good chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after midnight. We'll be cooler tomorrow with a high of 68. West-northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
The worst of times can bring out the best in each of us. Doctors, nurses, and frontline workers have labored selflessly to keep us safe during the health crisis of our lifetime. How do we thank these heroes? It's simple. Get your COVID vaccine so we can end this pandemic. Variants are on the rise, and we don't want to put these heroes through another health crisis. They have given their all. Now it's up to you. Please do your part. For you, for them, for us.
This message sponsored by the Helmsley Charitable Trust, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsrats.com. Bats Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Feels like every time we have Rick Kaczynski on, former Nebraska defensive line coach, we're talking about how to overcome another painful close loss. Well, guess what, Sip? It happened again. Nebraska lost to Michigan 32-29. A ranked opponent had a chance to get your signature win of the Scott Frost era, and you didn't. We're now joined by Kaz. Good morning, Kaz. Nebraska 3-4 after another painful loss to Michigan. There's 5 games to go. Nebraska has to win at least 3 of those games. I mean, if you're in that locker room right now, and if you see all these close games, you still have tough games in November. What do you think is going through the players' heads right now and the coaches' heads about continued close losses to good teams?
Well, good morning, Jake. Sip. Yeah, as a player and coach, you're just focused on the next one. If this team was going to quit, they would have quit much earlier in the season. They got great leadership. I think you got a team that goes in every week, and I think you see them getting better, and I think they see themselves getting better. Hate using the word culture, hate using the word close, but right now I think this team believes, that they're a good football team, and they are. I think they showed that on Saturday. That was not a good football team that they played. Michigan's a great football team.
Whoa,
really? That's as good a defense as, besides Georgia's on a completely another level. I mean, that's a top 3, top 4 defense in the country right now. And you move the ball, you're down 13-0, and you battled back, and it just came alive. I mean, the atmosphere, the crowd, and it was just great, guys. And when you talk about Nebraska relevance, it's easy when you're a blue blood to become relevant again. Just with a lot of people around this country. Not just the Midwest, not just in the Big Ten. A lot of people had interest in that game on Saturday, and that was great. And you lost, losing. It's terrible. It crushes your soul. But guys, that was a heck of a display by Nebraska. It was a heck of a display of the fans, a view of Memorial Stadium. I mean, those are the things that help you down the line. And it was a close game. And Nebraska had a chance to win, and they lost on a forced error. That happens, guys. I mean, It's a guy that's trying to make a play.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jake, you have to bet the mentality in the locker room and then the conference room and the meeting room. It's the next game. That's where you're at.
You think Michigan's that good, Kaz? So Michigan made a big impression on you?
Yeah, all season. I think they have a great defense. And Sip, you and I talked before that game. I think you go back, look at the text in our conversations. I said, man, I don't know if you guys are giving Michigan enough credit.
Right.
This is a really good football team. And I told you, I said those backs, they're not good backs. They're great backs. And to be honest with you, Haskins showed a little bit more than I thought he was capable of. I mean, those are dudes that fall forward. You know, they get you 2nd and 6. They get you 2nd and 7 when they got hit at the line of scrimmage. Those are some backs that fall forward. And what that does, that wears your defense down. It just does. But it was a great college football game. It was a great Big Ten game. That's how it should be, man. 1-score games. That's great football. That's Midwest, blue collar, hard nose.
It was
built from the inside out. That was a great football game. I mean, you want to win, obviously, but man, tell me who walked out of that stadium or watching that game saying, you know what, we don't have a chance, or hey, we're going in the right direction, guys. We're, like I said, I hate saying we're close. You know, we talk out of both sides of our mouths. You guys know it. I mean, it's all opinion. But man, you're right there. You can go toe to toe with anybody in this conference.
Interesting.
With that being said, Kaz, I mean, these close losses, they keep going the same result. It's a loss by Nebraska. They don't win the close game. And you had a chance on Saturday with, the fumble by Martinez. What looked like it was forward progress stop. They called it still. They had a chance again after that to score. They did not. Like, when you haven't done it for so long, how do you just do it in these close games, Kaz?
You have a breakthrough. And I think when you play a team like Michigan and you see that you had an opportunity to win, you always go back and say, okay, there's a play here. There's a play here. Coaches always talk about that. And I think Scott spoke about that. It's going to come down to a couple plays. And it always does. So you got to look at yourself individually and say, what else what more can I do instead of pointing the finger? And I think that's the type of team that Nebraska has now is they got a team that, all right, what else can I do? And I think you saw that from week to week to week. You got individuals saying, all right, I got to do more. You got position groups saying, I got to do more. And then, look at Michigan, guys. I mean, they're not a team that won a lot of close games neither. So they had that breakthrough on the road in a night game, and you just have that confidence. I can speak from experience. I mean, there was a time at Iowa. It was ridiculous. I think it was somewhere in like the high 20s. We lost games by less than a touchdown. I mean, we kind of sold it as a badge of honor in recruiting. It was like, okay, we're not getting our tails kicked in by a lot, but we're not winning them. And then you coach your guys on what it takes, and you have those young guys, and you get them that taste of being close, and you show them that discipline that it takes on film. And you know what? You remind them of that feeling in the locker room, and you have them go look at that sideline. Have them go look at that Michigan sideline, and you tell them, say, guys, don't ever let that happen again. Remember this feeling, as hard as it is. You got to talk to your players about how bad this feels, and what are you going to do to make sure you don't feel this way ever again? So, I think I really like where they're going. I really like the way they played. It was a physical knockdown, drag-out football game, and that's why you got a chance. I think that's why you feel really good about this team right now. Because, guys, when's the last time we looked at a Nebraska football team and said, man, this is a tough team? And when you look at Nebraska, they are a tough football team.
You see that, Cass? In what ways do you see that?
I mean, one, I like the energy. I know a couple weeks back, we talked about that energy, kind of like breaking the huddle, running up to the line of scrimmage. You got guys excited about putting their fist up and going to punch somebody in the chin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see that. They're excited. You got a group that's playing together. You got people that are playing with emotion, and you can't do that unless you have that confidence and the belief of not only yourself, but the dude next to you. All right. And that's a team, right? I see Nebraska playing as a team. I see the team feeding off one another. Guys, they're playing some great defenses. They're playing in a physical league, right? And they look like they belong. Nebraska looks like they belong again. It's just a matter of time before they break through. Don't worry about the next three or how many you got to win. You worry about Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's all you got to worry about. You worry about the next game. They'll take care of business, and this is a great challenge. There's no easy wins. But hey, you're going on the road after a tough loss. You're beat up. You know what? But I guarantee they're sitting there saying, "All right, we're not going to lose another game, but here's what we got to take care of Minnesota." So I really like this team. I like what the staff's doing. I think they got some tough guys. I really do.
All right.
And hey, you know what, man? If good teams force errors, right? That happens. Happens in volleyball. Ask Coach Cook. Michigan forced an error at the end of the game for a guy who was trying to win the game. The guy who took the game over for Nebraska. You take Adrian Martinez out of that game, Michigan's up by 3 scores, most likely in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So, that kid was trying to win the football game for Nebraska. And guess what, guys? The offense, the defense, the sideline, everybody's feeding off Adrian Martinez right now.
Wow, that's powerful stuff, Kaz. Now, you've been a Big Ten observer or a Big Ten participant for a long, long time. How good is the league right now compared to maybe some other years that you've observed?
Well, defensively, probably not a time defensively where it's been better.
Whoa.
I'd say probably 20 years.
Is that right?
Offensively, yeah, I mean, come on. Penn State, Michigan State, Nebraska's got it going a little bit. Iowa, these teams are doing what they need to do to win, but we're not lighting up the scoreboard. But I think defensively, I'd probably say it's been 20 years since you've seen defenses like this in the Big Ten. I mean, they're scary good. Yards are at a premium.
Yeah.
And special teams and especially punters, field position guys. Holy cow! First downs and punt, man, that's critical. Making people have to drive the football field is going to be critical to every single team's success. Go from Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska. You got to make people drive the field, and your punter's got to be a weapon.
Jeez. Kaz,
always great stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Thanks, guys. Great show. Keep it up, man.
Thank you,
Rick
Kaz. Thanks for
former Nebraska defensive line coach.
Best defenses have been in 20 years. Yeah, Michigan was a bear defensively, and Nebraska rolls out at halftime and scores on 4 or 5 possessions.
They attacked the bear.
Yes, attack the bear.
Yeah, they did.
That's what you sometimes do.
I do.
You attack the bear.
The bear. That's right.
I'm a bear.
Mm-hmm.
You attack.
Rawr.
Good stuff by Kaz. Iowa, Jake, ranked number 2 in the country. 2. 1 notch from 1.
I've got one more thing about Iowa. I'll tell you next. And Song of the Day on Early Break in the Ticket.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. Nebraska head coach Scott Frost announced that freshman offensive tackle Teddy Prohaska is out for the season with a knee injury, a tough blow for a very promising young player.
it's just tough. These kids put so much time and effort and energy into this, and Teddy's been just improving by leaps and bounds since he got here. He was getting to, reap the benefit of that. It's a tough setback, but guys come back from these things, and he'll be fine.
With Prohaska out now, that means Bryce Benhart moves back over to right tackle, while Turner Corcoran will go to left. Corcoran said he knows Benhart's ready to step back in.
Yeah, no, I was so freaking proud of him. He's my roommate. He's one of my best friends. But obviously, when his number was called, he answered the door. He kicked that thing open. We had a sweet play to the right, and he ended up getting his dude on the ground. He pancaked him, and I looked up at the jumbotron and saw it, and I was like, "There you go, Bryce." So I was really happy for him when I saw that. So
reporting here with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. We saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at PriceRightAuto.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Breezy but warm here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 77. Southeast winds at around 15 to 20. Overnight, we'll see increasing cloud cover, a low of 58. A good chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after midnight. Will be cooler tomorrow with a high of 68. West-northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Song of the day, Hair of the Dog by Nazareth. 464-56851 1 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating on the Starter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. That is for you, Adrian Martinez, via Turner Corcoran. That is Hair of the Dog by Nazareth. 464-568-5. 1 is bad. 10 is a good texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. I told you it was a very timely song today because of a quote from Turner Corcoran yesterday.
From the Nebraska offensive lineman about the Nebraska quarterback. Did you hear the quote?
No.
I'm trying to set this up
it.
in my brain. Oh, you read it. And then did that click in your mind?
He's like, yeah, I got to play Hair of the Dog tomorrow. Of course. That's exactly how my mind operates. Oh, that's an easy song of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, I've done this. I've never done this. We've been doing this show for 5+ years, but it's only recently I've tried to sort of get into how your mind works. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but this one's a pretty easy read. I think you've played the song before.
I don't think I have.
Are you sure?
If I did, it was a long time ago and it wasn't timely. Sometimes it doesn't matter if I played it before if the song is timely for that day.
Okay. I mean, it's a wonderful song. There's a lot of cowbell in that song, by the way.
And Tater says that cowbell is god awful.
Yeah. Well, it really? Why?
Someone says so good that Sip spilled his coffee during that. They saw it in the stream. They saw it. They saw that.
Well, I thought of something and I spit it out. I thought of you seeing Turner Corcoran say that and think, okay, there's my song of the day.
I started
tomorrow.
saying, now you're messing with it. Thanks, Turner, for the song of the day.
Oh, boy. Okay, so
what was the quote? What was the quote?
What?
Do you have the quote in front of you?
Not in my head. No. I mean, he just basically said he's a good football player. He's not just a quarterback. Oh, you know what he was saying?
He's a tough.
Yeah, he said that there's some quarterbacks who aren't really that tough. They're not really football players. I've always said this too, by the way. But Adrian is a football player. He's a tough SOB. Harrison, speaking of tough SOBs, Harrison's here. He rated that song.
We'll get
I haven't
to that in a
rated
second.
yet. Yeah, I like it. I never loved it. I do like the cowbell. I don't understand what why someone would disparage that cowbell. In fact, the cowbell. I'll give that song an 8.5. How about that? 8.5.
Okay, we got to guess Harrison's score now.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
what.
old, so it's probably a bad score. It's not from the 2012s or beyond. It's pretty bad.
It's not indie rock.
No, that's the farthest thing from that.
Right.
That's just rock.
Go ahead.
Harrison gave that a 3.7.
Okay, I'll say 3.8. Oh,
5.2, just okay.
Harrison is understated. That's what Harrison is.
Very understated.
He's very understated. Just okay. Yeah. What would trip his trigger? What has tripped his trigger?
If I played Kid Cudi, Erase Me, I could play that song.
Erase Me.
You would give that probably a 3. He'd give it a 9.
Erase Me.
From the text line, 95889. Perfect selection. Thank you. Appreciate that.
That was good, Jake.
7.5 from Space Cadet, who says, need more cowbell.
Space Cadet.
Drew and Lincoln says that's an 8.2. Greg and Milford, 8.9. Jennifer, 8.5. Joan Boulder says an 8.5. Gets your blood pumping. Boom.
Boom.
He says.
Thank you, Joe.
Tyler says a 9. Jeremy says 10, a freaking 10.
Okay.
Mike says 10. I play that song when I make cold calls to get business from a competitor.
No kidding.
How about that?
Who said that?
Mike.
Mike, really?
That's good stuff. I should use that too myself. 6.8 from Brown Magic.
Whatever works.
Brian T says a 10. That's Nazareth rocks that for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Ohio Husker 8.3.
God, thanks for all
and
the
Chris a 6.5.
What about Eric in the Highlands?
I don't see Eric. That's Tyler in the Highlands. I
Tyler.
don't see Eric is just the one that says he hates when I have a good song because he wants to hate me every time.
Where's Tyler in the Highlands been?
If you're out there, Tyler, we're shouting you out. We need a score.
Chad. Should we get to Chad?
Yeah, I don't know if he's talking about the song or not, but sure. Chad, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, good morning. How are you guys?
Good, Chad. How are you doing?
Good, doing well. Hey, 2 things.
Okay.
And you guys might have answered this on the show, but wanted to get your thoughts on if you think Adrian will come back for one more year.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, as I was driving this morning, I remember yesterday putting in my headphones for a run, and I heard you guys say that Sip missed the fourth quarter show at Northwestern, and if so, how does that happen?
Thank you for the call, Chad.
Yeah, I missed it.
Well, this, as Sip said, what's the title of your book going to be? What's your book title going to be?
I missed out on all the fun. Work too much. I don't know. I got time here.
I missed out on the FUD. That explains it right there, Chad.
No, what happened, Chad? It's really simple. When Nebraska takes control of a game like it did against Northwestern, and the writers have tight deadlines, we just go to writing. And when I'm writing, I get pretty engulfed, and I didn't. So when the lights went off, we're in the press box. I was sitting at my computer at the press box with that big window in front of me, somehow unaware what was going on. But they, when they whipped the lights down, my first thought was, oh, is there a power outage?
Oh, that's so sad.
And when
look up,
when it became clear to me there was no power outage, I just kept writing. I must have been rolling. I mean, when you know how it is when you're writing the rundown and you get on a roll, the rest of the world is so outside of your realm that you don't know what's going on. And that's the deal. But I saw the light show Saturday night, and I thought it was incredible. It's one of the most incredible things I've seen in a long time. I can't stop thinking about it and talking about it.
We all had that feeling the week before that when you thought there was a power outage at Memorial Stadium.
Well, I quickly realized there wasn't, and I just started writing again. But I saw it this time, and I can't believe it. And that State Patrol tweet of the helicopter over it and checking it out is something worth watching.
Top of the hour next, an early break of the ticket.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonsall Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonsall Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonsall Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Deck City is Lincoln's DIY deck headquarters. With real deck professionals, they can help you throughout the entire process. They also offer financing for qualified customers. Deck City offers the best quality materials so you have a deck built to last. There's everything from Yellowwood lumber to the best quality TimberTech composites on the market and high quality aluminum railings by Westbury or Diamond Piers for easy footing install. For those looking to bring your wood deck back to life, they offer good proof ready seal stain. Deck City, your deck material headquarters, is now open Saturdays from 9 to 1, 2 blocks north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order new John Deere combines and headers during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine, corn head, or flex draper, or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs. Get your new John Deere harvest equipment built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket, sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Angry about a recent Nebraska football loss? Go throw axes at Kraft Axe Throwing. Optimistic about the upcoming Nebraska football game? Go sign up for free football tickets at Kraft Axe Throwing. Bring some friends, reserve a bay for an hour or more, release anger at the targets by hucking an axe at it, and walk away feeling better about yourselves and the football season just in time to enter for a chance to win a free pair of tickets to the next home game as you walk out the door. Reserve your lane online at craftaxethrowing.com or call 402-802-9696. Kraft Axe Throwing at 18th and N in Lincoln.
Work out your stress and get back to feeling great at Planet Fitness. It's a great time to do your own thing. Now through October 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a routine that's right for you with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Plus, check out the crowd meter in our free PF app for the best time to visit. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends October 13th. See club for details.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. Check out the podcast at theticketfm.com. Good stuff as always from Rick Kaczynski. You can always call or text the show at 464-5685 and watch us on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. The show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Check out their current job openings at GainaTrucking.com. I saw something interesting yesterday, Sip. Before we get back to Husker football.
Oh, wow.
I know that these are worthless because it's October 12th and bowl season isn't until December.
Okay.
But I see projections
Yeah, I
out
like
there,
it.
you know?
I like it.
And this guy isn't exactly popular in Nebraska for some stories he's broke about the state. Brett McMurphy. I think he's at Stadium now or Action, whatever he's at.
Action Network.
He's bounced around.
Action
various
Network.
reasons. He listed his bowl projections. Nebraska not on them right now. That's not what I'm bringing this up for. Nebraska right now is not in his bowl predictions. Minnesota is, by the way. They're in. I was looking at his top four. His top four in terms of the playoff were this. Ready for his top four?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And this is projecting about, certain teams losing here coming up. But he said as of right now, this is how he predicts the top four in the playoff.
Okay.
Number 1, Iowa.
What?
Versus number 4, Georgia.
Georgia. So
because he has them losing to Bama.
Oh, in the SEC title
Correct.
game? Okay.
And number 2, Oklahoma
Okay.
versus number 3, Alabama. With, of course, Georgia, Bama in the championship game. He has this. I think I saw this correctly. He has Iowa at number 1 versus number 4, Georgia, and he predicts all the lines for these games. And he has Georgia as a 15-point favorite against number 1.
That's amazing.
But he has Iowa going undefeated and winning the Big Ten.
Well,
and going to the the playoff.
Well, as we know, they're scheduled the rest of the way is no ranked teams is the best way to say it. Kaz, our Rick Kaczynski is convinced Nebraska will beat Iowa. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, so he has Cincinnati out.
Yeah, he wrote about Cincinnati. He said Cincinnati right now had a great weekend because Notre Dame won. Cincinnati beat Temple. They blew them out. So all these wins that they have earlier, they panned out to help them. They're number 3. He says that they obviously have to win out to have any chance of making the playoff, but he says there's a very small chance because of the other teams that have better chances for big wins the rest of the way.
Right now, Oklahoma is fourth in the AP poll at 6-0. There's Oklahoma's schedule lightens up considerably too.
And now they have the right quarterback in there. Chase Williams.
No, it's Caleb Williams.
Oh, sorry.
First of all.
So Caleb Williams. Sorry. That was Chase.
Maybe they have a Chase Williams.
Maybe
but
they might. It tends to be his brother, Caleb Williams.
No, Caleb Williams has replaced Spencer Rattler. It's interesting to me and probably some listeners how enthusiastic you are about Spencer Rattler getting benched. I don't understand.
The
What's your
dude
deal?
sucks.
Would you stop it?
Did you watch him play in the first half and what Williams did in the second half against that defense?
Mm-hmm.
I know the defense of Oklahoma was horrible in the first half. They were a lot better in the second half, but my gosh, Rattler, some of the throws he made were like, what are you doing? You're not even the same stratosphere as a guy. And there was dudes open, and they would show the replay like they did kind of the condensed version of his misses during the first half. You're like, what are you doing? What are you seeing?
Okay.
He's done.
Now, just
He's
not done. You see,
Rattler is done.
No, he's not, because they're going to need him at some point.
If there's the injury.
Yeah, or Caleb Williams, the freshman, just can't handle the job, which is possible. True freshman. But I will say this, their schedule, Jake, think about this. Okay, Oklahoma plays TCU this week. It's a team they've beaten 7 straight times. Okay. Then they follow that with Kansas. Landslide win. Yeah, win.
Sorry, Lance.
Automatic,
But that's a win for Oklahoma.
automatic win. Okay, sorry, Lance. Yeah, I just called it
sorry,
automatic
Lance.
win. And Texas Tech. So hello 9-0. I mean, Sooners are going to be 9-0, Jake.
But a fraudulent 9-0.
Well, I don't know.
Like
why.
Bama's like, sure, we'll play them again. We'll beat them by 40. Let's
Yep.
do it. Awesome. We'll be the 3 seed, no problem.
Yep.
See you in the championship, Georgia.
Yep.
See you again.
Yep. Yeah.
You think Bama is encouraging Oklahoma to go undefeated? It's like, please, please make the playoff. We want to end you again.
Well, you'd rather, if you think Alabama would rather face a team like Oklahoma than Cincinnati? Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Now, I saw Cincinnati, Jake.
Because I think Ritter's a great quarterback.
I
at
watch a little more
Cincinnati.
football than you think. I did watch Cincinnati versus Temple, and I was pretty impressed with the Bearcats. They're real. They could play in a Power 5 league. They have that kind of team and excel in a Power 5 league. I get a kick out of that, though. McMurphy putting Iowa as the number one.
That means he has them winning the Big Ten. That means if it's Ohio State or whoever it is on the West side, he has them not only going undefeated in the regular season, but beating them in the Big Ten championship.
I don't buy that. I'll take Ohio State. I'm sorry. Love you, Iowa, but yeah.
You don't say that either. No, don't say love you, Iowa, but you used to say screw you, Iowa. And
second though, we have a little problem here. You heard what Rick Kaczynski was saying about the Michigan Wolverines. How about the Wolverines in the playoff?
Well, as Cass said, their defense is really good. Their offense was good on Saturday. I don't think it's still incredible. I think it's good. It's a good offense.
Yeah.
It's better than Iowa's offense.
Oh gosh, yes. Yes. Because I mean, McNamara held up pretty well in that game. McNamara's good. He's better than I thought. He handled that game well.
It was a lot of underneath throws. He had a couple long ones that were impressive throws.
Tough kid. He's a gamer.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Runs and those running backs are. I knew Corum was good. Haskins was a little better than I
It
thought.
seemed like I'm going to guess a percentage here. It seemed about 84% of his throws were 5 yards or less.
Oh,
7 yards or less.
Yeah, 10 yards or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit of a game manager there. He made the throws. He wasn't like out here doing Justin Herbert and hitting 40-yard bombs every play, or Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. He's getting the ball down the field in a boring way, but it works.
Well, partially, you have to give Nebraska's defense credit in that conversation, Jake.
They don't give up big plays.
No,
they gave up a couple,
right.
2 of them, and then the long run play they got busted. That Haskins hurtled whoever that was. He got hurdled.
He hurtled Dismuke. Markel
yep.
Dismuke. Who, by the way, those safeties are playing well. What's so funny?
From the text line, I'm glad someone is texting this in because I was concerned myself.
What?
Texture says, if Sip says, love you, Iowa again, I will stop listening to this show forever.
I said it in a mocking tone.
Thank you, Texture. Appreciate that. I'm glad you caught that and said that. I feel the same way. I got the heebie-jeebies in that one.
Come on. Come on, Iowa. Love you like a brother. There it was again.
Uh-oh. Let's see if the Texture says I'm done or not. You heard it.
I don't want to lose listeners. No, we can't lose listeners.
This show disparages Iowa.
Is
That's
that
what we do. Yeah, I do it at least. I still think I'm the problem here. I remember that I told you earlier this year that Iowa has had this magical run of luck the last couple of years of winning these crazy games with turnovers forced by the defense, unattractive offense. They just find a way to get it done. Whenever I made the Iowa Sucks song in 2015, they've been really good ever since, and Nebraska has been really bad ever since. I think my magic potion that was supposed to be disparaging actually brought luck to the Hawkeyes.
So there's two curses that are really affecting
I'm going
us.
to burn the song.
There's two curses that are really affecting us: the Frank Solich curse and the Jake Sorensen Iowa Sucks song curse.
That's right. I'm gonna burn it from existence here soon.
The Hawkeyes, we need to emphasize. People keep saying, well, they're doing it with their defense and their special teams. Have you ever heard of Torrey Taylor by any chance? He's the Aussie-born punter.
No.
And he's a legend in Iowa right now. I mean, he added to his legend status on Saturday 6 punts inside the 20-yard line, 44.2 yard average. He
is he in Reggie Roby status yet?
Probably. Yeah, I'd say yes. It's special teams and defense. There's no way Iowa's number 2 in the country if all they have is a defense. I mean, they need something else besides that, and they do. They have special teams.
Well, their punter's good, but I'm telling you, if you watch an Iowa game, I watched one for some reason a lot earlier in the year. It wasn't the Penn State game. I was just they get returns on their punt returns.
Thank you for
every
saying that.
time.
I was hoping that's what you'd
they
say.
get like 15 yards.
They return punts,
and they get yardage out of it.
Yeah, they do.
And there's always space. I'm like, okay, this guy has so much room to run. Nebraska gets the ball, and the guy's right in his face.
Well, the gunner, I don't think Nebraska's doing a good job blocking.
Well, apparently not, because Iowa always has room to return a punt.
Right.
Always.
Well, Frost said yesterday, Scott Frost did say yesterday, we have to start returning those now. I mean, that's the next step. He didn't say that. He didn't say that's the next step, I don't think. I'm saying that. But he said we have to start returning those punts. Coverage was great. Coverage was...
Yeah, he had time to run on a couple of those.
Yeah, maybe.
A couple.
Yeah.
Let's get a call from Mike. Mike, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Good morning, guys. You want to know who hopes Iowa doesn't make the playoffs?
Who's that?
The majority of Iowa fans. I got a good. No, I'm serious. I got a buddy, and I asked him Friday, "Would you guys rather go to the Rose Bowl or the playoffs?" And I've been with this guy, the Nebraska Iowa game, and he just knows tons. He's a season ticket holder, knows tons of people, goes tailgate to tailgate, knows so many people. He called me yesterday, obviously unscientific poll. He said the majority of people he knows, and it's not even a close majority, not everybody, would rather go to the Rose Bowl than go to the playoffs. And I just told him, I said, that is just bizarre.
It is kind of bizarre. That's a Big Ten. Thank you, Mike. Do you know who doesn't want to go to the playoff? Iowa fans.
They want the Rose Bowl and nothing more, nothing less.
Well, that's a Big Ten mentality, right? I mean, there's always been that strong love affair between the Big Ten and the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl's it, Jake. So that's really interesting what he just said. Thank you, Mike, for that.
The Skur Swami Texan says, Iowa lives for mediocrity. They live for a good punt. That's what they consider a good season. We have a great punter, and we had a winning season. We went to a bowl game. Well, I'd take that, what they're doing right now, frankly. I know it's boring, but they're undefeated. They're number 2 in the country.
Right. It's hard.
You would take that here in Lincoln.
They're 6-0. Number 2.
Yeah, you take that.
I don't even know, Jake, would we even know how to handle it if Nebraska were number 2? In the country?
How would I be acting over here?
I don't know. I don't know.
Whipping my shirt around the whole time in the studio. We're number 2. We're coming for you. We want Bama.
I don't. Would we know how to act?
I have forgotten how to handle success.
That level of success.
I'm so used to pain and mediocrity and failure.
Poor Harrison, our EP, couldn't get around to watching the game, the replay of the Nebraska-Michigan game until yesterday because it affected him. I asked him this morning, I said, how you doing, Harrison? Just a simple, greeting. How you doing? He goes, I'm feeling better. And I thought he must have had the flu or something. I said, so what'd you have? He goes, oh, I was just depressed by the game. Wow, Harrison. You got to move on quickly. And Kaz was interesting. That whole take of how gripping that game was and how Nebraska. I mean, we're sort of over the conversation now of going on national TV and getting whooped, right? And Nebraska put on a good show.
They have played well on national television.
I mean, I'm sure that scene in Memorial Stadium played very well on TV. I didn't see it on TV, but I'm sure it looked wonderful, right? That was a great show. I wonder if they showed the light show, by the way. I'm sorry. Do they show that on TV?
They show parts of it, not the whole thing. They'll show like the remnants of it, I think.
Yeah.
because people were aware of it more than you were during the Northwestern game, watching, saying that the light show kind of cool a little bit. We
cool.
Well, they didn't get the whole part of it. They didn't get to see everything of it. They got to see part of it.
I got it. I tell you one thing I would never use to describe that light show as kind of cool. It is an incredible light show. And that is something Nebraska came up with, and now it's Nebraska's. And that is I've not seen a scene. Don't tell me Enter Sandman's as cool as that. Hello?
At Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
That starts the game off, doesn't it?
I don't know.
That's how they enter the stadium at Vaught Tech.
Yeah.
This is cooler. Of the game.
This is cooler. This is cooler than what Wisconsin does jump around. I never thought I'd say that.
Now that's...
No, it is, Jake. This is better. This is more elaborate. This is better.
It's more elaborate with the lights.
Yeah. It's cooler. More energy.
Jump around's iconic, though.
It is, and it shakes that stadium. I will say that. Yeah, it shakes that stadium.
It shakes the stadium more than Thunderstruck does.
Well,
that wasn't shaking.
It
was just
Nebraska's
cool.
structurally more sound, and they have a structurally more sound stadium than Wisconsin.
Breaking news, Camp Randall's falling to the ground. That's the problem. That's why it's shaky. I had a bunch of Michigan fans in my section where I was at on Saturday, and they all took their phones out. Were taking video of the light show.
You didn't because I
was saving my
battery. You have an iPhone 7.
Number one, I have no storage. My storage is full, so I need a new phone for that. Number two, I was trying to save battery, so I did not. Either way, I didn't do it last week either against Northwestern. I didn't document it at all. Saving storage and battery life. From the text line, 464-5685, Burger King says, Sip loves the light show as much as he loves Iowa, apparently.
Oh, easy. Mike's call was wonderful, by the way.
Craig says, Sip, you are a clueless dingleberry because of your light show take.
How
dingleberry.
So? How so?
I think people might be still mad about you saying you love Iowa.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You really set the people off the wrong direction here.
I just said love you, Iowa, but it was mostly sarcastic. What a weird playoff I had, maybe. I mean, that would be really strange.
Iowa at number one, Oklahoma, who just doesn't look right. Even though they don't. Maybe the right quarterback now. You got to realize they had a miracle. They were down big time. They had a miracle to win that football game against Texas. Texas had to have the biggest
collapse,
epic implosion ever, which they did,
mm-hmm.
and they lost the game. Oklahoma has not looked good at all this year. When have they looked good this season? When? They barely beat Tulane in their opening game. They barely beat Nebraska, who is not a bad team, not a great team, but they're a good team, a fine team. They barely beat Kansas State, who's an average team. They just haven't looked good at all.
That would be the playoff.
They beat West Virginia on the last second field goal. They scored 16 points to win that game.
I mean, what a playoff. It would be a weird playoff. Iowa, the top seed, maybe?
Your 1 and 2 teams would be heavy underdogs.
Right.
That's how crazy that is.
Right. Yeah. Iowa, as a 1 seed, would be a 15-point favorite or 15-point underdog to Georgia.
And Oklahoma probably like a 15-point dog to Alabama. As the 1 and 2 seed.
Yes.
It's not right.
Oh, it's weird. That's just Brett McMurphy's take. I think you have to look at Cincinnati pretty closely in this conversation. Who else? Well, yeah, I mean, they can't rule out the Buckeyes because I think the Buckeyes will. What happens if the Buckeyes beat Iowa in the Big Ten championship?
Ohio State
game?
has a chance still.
Yeah.
Sure. If they win out and then win the Big Ten championship, they will probably be in the playoff.
Would you really pick Iowa against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game?
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
But then again, they'd probably force 25 turnovers somehow because that's what they do, and they'd probably win the game, like 10-7 somehow.
I'm ruling out Penn State. I can't rule out Michigan. I'm ruling out Oregon. I'm ruling out Michigan State. I'm ruling out Kentucky. I'm ruling Oklahoma State, 5-0 Oklahoma State, Gundy getting it done. I'm ruling out Ole Miss. We know where this is going. I'm ruling out Notre Dame. I'm ruling out Coastal Carolina. They are not that good, trust me. Wake Forest is 6-0. Yeah, this Coastal Carolina, this little nice story, they're not that good. I mean, I've watched them twice. They're just okay. Wake Forest is 6-0. Jake, do you ever think about the world we're in right now? Wake Forest and Kentucky are 6-0.
And Iowa.
Well, that's a little different.
Wake Forest and who?
Wake Forest and Kentucky are 6-0.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Wake Forest and Kentucky. I mean, they've been trending kind of that way. I know we're all over the map here, but people that are trying to run out Frost, think about what you're saying. Think about Kirk Ferentz. Okay? Ferentz has had some struggle stuck with him. Look what they're doing. Mark Stoops at Kentucky has had one winning record in the SEC in 9 years. Okay? Stuck with him. 6-0 right now. Now they're going to be 6-1 because they played Georgia.
Yep. Well, I'm curious to see if they hang with him, though. Can you? What? Georgia has had nobody. I guess Clemson was tied with them early on, the first game of the season, but both teams didn't do anything offensively in that game. Ever since then, they have murdered teams.
Harbaugh is another example. I mean, Harbaugh has this team at 6-0, and you heard Kaz singing Michigan's praises. What if Michigan moved on last year from Harbaugh? Would they be 6-0 right now? Maybe,
but maybe not.
Yeah, you don't know. They blow that up. Michigan. Okay, does Michigan look like a team that needs a new head coach? No, they don't.
That's why last year any firings were weird because it was weird. There was no fans in the stands.
Right.
It was your own energy. Like I didn't understand why you would fire anybody last year.
Unless it was extreme, but Michigan doesn't look like a team that needs a new coach to me. They're really well coached, right? And if you looked at Nebraska, there's only one thing you could say about Nebraska coming away from that game. They're well coached. I mean, they didn't get out coached by Michigan. Okay. In fact, Frost probably, I'd say the offensive coaches in that game got the upper hand.
In the second half, not the first half.
No.
Second half they did.
Yeah.
They made, how long we begged this staff to make halftime adjustments, and boy, did they make them. Remember that? We've said, oh God, third quarter has been a big problem in the Scott Frost era, at least before this year.
Uh-huh.
And 22 points a third quarter against a very good defense. We've been begging for that.
The offensive game plan that Nebraska had was excellent, trending toward brilliant. A few of those plays were brilliant and well executed. I'm talking about the pass to, the screen to Ramir.
Start off the game.
Yep. Man. I mean, the 41-yard pass to Ramir that Adrian.
Wheel route.
Yeah, wheel route.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Got drilled as he threw it.
The 13-yard little lob to Falk.
Beautiful.
After Dante Williams.
First play.
Yeah. Or how about the play action to Austin Allen, the little pop pass to Austin Allen to start the third quarter, to get Nebraska right in the game, to get the crowd freaking out. Great call. I mean, those are great calls, Jake. The Austin Allen call was superb, and it can only happen because Nebraska kept hammering Ramir Johnson into the line in the first quarter. And I was sitting up there going, God dang, Frost, have a little freaking, just do something. But he was setting things up. He was being patient, right? Hammering that little Ramir Johnson into the line. 0 yards, 2 yards, 0 yards. You got to do it to keep that defense honest. And that play to Austin Allen doesn't work if you don't do that. It doesn't.
Quick question before we get to break and Robert wash it. Someone asked,
what?
If Kentucky played Iowa today, who are you taking?
Ooh, let's think about that before we just pipe off.
Will Levis, quarterback at Kentucky.
I like
Wandale
Levis.
Robinson, receiver at Kentucky.
And Chris Rodriguez. Please don't quit. Please quit forgetting Chris Rodriguez because he's their best offensive player.
Wandale's had a good year.
I know, but this guy's.
Please don't bash Wandale.
I'm not. Let's not make him into Lynn freaking Swan, though.
He's had a good year.
Yeah. Who am I taking? I'm taking Iowa. I'm taking the Hawkeyes. Love you, Hawkeye.
Give me Kentucky, baby. Give me that Kentucky.
I'm taking Iowa. They shut that team down. They shut Kentucky down.
Kentucky's defense would shut Iowa down.
No,
wouldn't
it
they?
wouldn't.
That defense is also good at Kentucky. It's weird. Kentucky's defense the last few years has been really good.
I'd have to look at that.
They had Josh Allen, the defensive end, a couple years ago that was just a freight train. You couldn't stop him. They had a good defense. Like, they are an SEC Big Ten level defense.
Be a good game, but I'm taking Iowa.
Because they just find a way to have the magic potion to win like they always do.
Tough, disciplined team, Jake. You know that. Defense and special teams. They're just going to grind that game out. I don't think Kentucky's capable of Kentucky would stay in that game. They'd stay in it, but Iowa in the end would prevail, just like Iowa so often does. That's why Iowa's number 2 in the country right now.
Texter says, shutting my radio off for you saying, I love you, Hawkeyes. Look what you've done. You're losing the show listeners by the second. Robin Wash it up next, an early break in the ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Breezy but warm here for our Tuesday. We'll top out near 77. Southeast winds at around 15 to 20. Overnight, we'll see increasing cloud cover, a low of 58. A good chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after midnight. Will be cooler tomorrow with a high of 68. West-northwest winds gusting over 25. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years. And their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Work out your stress and get back to feeling great at Planet Fitness. It's a great time to do your own thing. Now through October 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a routine that's right for you with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Plus, check out the Crowd Meter in our free PF app for the best time to visit. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends October 13th. See club for details.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at PriceRightAuto.com.
State Farm, this is Bill.
It finally got me, Bill.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes.
Oh.
Year after rim-wrecking year, it's tormented the people of this town. It got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
You hear that? You ain't nothing.
You trash talking a pothole?
Yes, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven treatment options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Basketball season is getting closer and closer. As you point out, the other day, I'm depressed. I can't go to the fastball concert because it's the same night as Nebraska Creighton. I would never in my lifetime miss that game, November 16th. That's just over a month away from today.
Man,
a month and 4 days
that's
to
incredible.
be exact.
Yeah.
We are joined now by Husker Online's Robin Washington. Good morning, Robin. It was another big recruiting weekend for Nebraska. They at the football game. Who all was in town, and what impression did that game and the visits make on those guys, Robin?
Well, it was a pretty quiet visitor weekend. You know, they only had 4 4-stars in town, no 5 stars. So kind of a slow weekend,
quiet.
but
Yeah, very quiet.
they had a commit already of Blaise Keita, the JUCO center from Coffeyville. It was his first time in Lincoln, so he's already on board, but this is his first time actually getting to see the campus and you know, all that good stuff. And then they had 3 2023 4-stars in Gus Yalden, and I'm blanking on the other guy right now. Jacob Cole, and those 2 were on official visits, and then Parker Friedrichsen, the guard from Oklahoma, he was on an unofficial visit. So, yeah, a pretty good group once again for the second weekend in a row. And as you could imagine, the environment Saturday night was just as good as the weekend before.
Yeah, where would they? I mean, you just can't find that environment at too many places, right? I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's gold when you're able to showcase that. I mean, it's an elite level atmosphere, you know, regardless of sport. But, you know, the fact that these guys are able to kind of see the passion of the fan base to that level, in that type of environment. And then, you know, then you add in the weekend before with, you know, the opening night where, you know, they had about 6 or 7,000 fans in PBA, you know, cheering them on. So, I mean, that type of stuff, I mean, that's where Nebraska can separate from other schools. You know, I was talking with Jacob Cole. He's from Houston, Texas. So, I mean, he's from a big time sports market, and has been to Texas A&M and, you know, a bunch of other, you know, local schools down there, football games and all that stuff. And he said he'd never seen anything like what he saw at Nebraska. And just in terms of how loyal and passionate the fan base was. So, you know, I know the coaching staff for basketball is loving every bit of these past 2 home games just because of the value they have in terms of selling Nebraska athletics and the Nebraska fan base.
Robin Washington joins us from HuskerOnline.com. He's a basketball beat writer. Now, Robin, the guys are practicing now. We're heading towards the season, and we've talked about this team a little bit, but we really haven't asked you. Jake has a good question on the rundown. What is your concern about this team right now? If you looked at that roster, I mean, when you look at it with a furrowed brow, what do you see? Like, oh God, this might not work.
For me, I think so much of this season's success is going to be dictated by decision making, and guys not trying to do too much, particularly those guards. you notice every time Fred talks about his backcourt, he talks about needing guys to make the simple play, not trying to do too much. And I think when he really looks at that conversation, it's about Trey McGowns and Alonzo Verge, because they're going to be the primary ball handlers and the primary facilitators, and that there comes a lot of responsibility. Where those guys are two big time playmakers who love to, make the big time play, but sometimes you don't need the big time play. Sometimes you just need the drive and kick out for an open three. So I think hammering home the idea that you don't need to make the highlight reel play every single time down court is going to be a big part in this offense really operating at its full potential, especially when you consider all the pieces they have to work with. You don't need to do so much as an individual when you have so much help from your teammates. So I think that is going to be a huge part offensively. And then defensively, they got to be able to stop people in the paint. There's still a relatively undermanned front court compared to the rest of the Big Ten.
Yes.
I mean, that's the qualifiers. Like they got more depth. They have more bodies to work with in the post, but they don't have Kofi Coburn. They don't have Hunter Dickinson. They don't have those types of Zach Edey type guys that are kind of a cut above the rest of the centers in college basketball. So that is just going to be an inherent thing they're going to have to work around. And then defensively, just being able to, play a high level or a high enough level of defense to where they're not having to win just straight out track meet shootouts every single week.
Yeah, you mentioned, Robin, there that Nebraska has had an inherent disadvantage with rebounding, and it certainly has been the case, and it should be the case again this year. But we've also seen some things that are you can control, like free throws have been a problem the last couple of years for Fred Hoiberg's squad, despite thinking there's better shooters last year than was the year before that. I mean, are we looking at another year of that being a problem? And if not, why does that just get fixed all of a sudden?
Well, I don't know. It remains to be seen how much that's going to get fixed. Because Teddy Allen was a 90% free throw shooter in JUCO, and then comes in and shoots like 70% at Nebraska. So I don't know. These guys have never shot free throws with fans in the stands at Pinnacle Bank Arena. So how are they going to respond to that?
Yeah.
That's a big question right now. I think that they certainly have significantly better shooters across the board. And you would think that would translate into a much better free throw shooting team. And I know that they really hammer home not just free throw shooting in terms of reps in practice, but they end every practice with a drill where they chart turnovers in practice. And at the end of the day, each turnover is worth a full court sprint up and down. And they do a handful of them, and then Fred picks a player to come up and shoot a free throw. And if he makes it, that shaves 2 sprints off the list that they have to do. And so, they have every teammate standing there watching. The gym's perfectly silent, and that player has to come up and try to help his team make a free throw to shave some wind sprints off. And so, they're trying to create pressure situations, where it's all on you to make this free throw, and everybody's going to be upset with you if you don't make it. And so, those are the types of things that I think you can try to help simulate, those, like I said, just the pressure of making free throws in a game. But again, there's only so much you can do to see how these guys are actually going to respond when the lights are on and fans are in the stands.
Shifting gears quickly to Nebraska's football game at Minnesota, 11 a.m. kickoff in Minneapolis. Gophers are 3-2, 1-1 in the Big Ten, coming off a bye week. Rob, you cover football. You were at the press conference yesterday. You know what's going on. What are you expecting? What kind of game should we be expecting? Is this going to be another close one in your opinion?
It wouldn't surprise me, just kind of by the nature of how this series has gone. But I think Nebraska is the much better team right now, especially considering the way that they're playing and the way Minnesota is, conversely, and the fact that they just lost their second starting running back of the year.
Yep.
Tanner Morgan has regressed significantly over the past 2 years. Their receiving core was supposed to be a weapon, but they've been dinged up. So there's really not a lot about Minnesota right now that overly scares you if you're Nebraska. But what it comes down to is, can they play with the same level of intensity and physicality that they have certainly last week and then over the past 2 weeks? They do. I think they should have every opportunity to win this game and pick up a huge victory to get to 6 wins. But as we've seen before, sometimes if you don't come in with the right mental attitude and focus, Minnesota will punch you in the mouth. And we'll see how Nebraska responds if that's the case.
All right. Robin, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Yep. We'll see you guys.
Great job.
Husker Online's Robin Washington.
Interesting stuff. Wow. Man, that recruiting thing. If God, I keep talking about that stadium, but if you can get kids in there for a night game into Memorial Stadium for a night game, that has to make a huge
just think
impression.
about the difference of having a night game in general. We haven't seen a night game for a while, right? Before this year?
Right. No.
There was no games at home last year you could bring recruits to, right? There was no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
And then Nebraska hasn't really had a home night game for a while.
Yeah, I guess that's right. That's probably why
back-to-back weeks, though.
Yeah, why it made such a big impression. I just was blown away by the last 2 weeks.
It was awesome.
Blown away, Jake.
It was great.
Yeah.
I was glad to be there.
Yeah.
Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. It is not Wild Card Wednesday, but this is kind of wild cardy a little bit for this Tuesday topic. I was thinking about golf yesterday because I love golf, as you know.
You were thinking about it, huh?
Golf course locations. What states are these iconic golf courses in?
Okay, iconic
These are ones that have hosted probably majors and Ryder Cups, all that good stuff. These are ones that are well known.
I'm going to be very interested to see if these fit the description of iconic.
Yes.
Yes.
Golf course locations by state. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call to take down Sip and Trivia. I mean, are you feeling okay about these golf course locations or not?
Yeah.
These are all in the U.S. And I'm not asking about Ireland or Scotland or whatever. These are
all in the
United States iconic golf courses.
I don't feel too bad about this. Joe, what do you think?
Yes, Joe. How do you feel about golf courses?
I feel okay.
All right. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Joe, first question goes to you. What state is Shinnecock Hills in?
New York.
Yep. We are 1 for 1. That's in Southampton, New York.
Yes, I would have gotten that.
What'd you have?
Yes.
Why?
Because just through osmosis.
All right. Let's see if we can get through osmosis this one then. For the tie, Sip, what state is Oakmont Country Club in?
Oakmont. Oh, Michigan.
I don't hate that guess. It's not right, though. Joe, do you want that one or not?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is correct, and Joe did feel good about this topic going in. For the sweep for a second straight day, Joe, here's your last question. What state is Pinehurst number 2 in?
North Carolina.
And that game was apparently over before it even began. A 3-0 rout, 2 straight losses. Sip. Joe, that was impressive. Good work. We'll get you bagels. Thanks for calling and calling down the road, man.
Thank you. We hate Iowa.
We hate Iowa. That's right. That's what you get for saying you love Iowa. Get the loss there.
This is not going particularly well.
I didn't hate the Michigan guess, by the way.
Thank you. Okay, give me another one.
What state is Prairie Dunes in?
Prairie Dunes?
Yeah.
It's in South Dakota.
No, it's actually in Kansas.
Okay.
And your tiebreaker is Sand Hills in Mullen.
Yes.
Is considered a top 10 course in the country. How old is the course? How many years old is Sand Hills in Mullen? Mm-hmm. Designed, by the way, by Bill Coore and Ben Crenshaw. It gives you a timeline. Ben Crenshaw.
It's 26 years
Whoa!
old.
26 years old on the dot. It means nothing for you.
Schaefer is here, and he
brought in Casey's Pizza.
Breakfast pizza. This is incredible.
Yeah, you're going to have some.
Yeah, I will have a piece of that. Thank you.
Congrats to Joe. And that was a good guess in the tiebreak. You had it right in the dot.
Thank you.
1995 it was open.
I can remember when it was.
Is that right?
It was a pretty big story around here.
Oh, it's still a big story. It's a phenomenal golf course.
Yeah, well, Jake, I'm down to 15 and 13 now.
You've really
since the reset.
Yeah, you've started to slide here.
Yeah, we got to end the slide.
The spillover with Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer is next on Early Break on the Ticket. Last thing before break, guys, it's getting darker and colder outside every day. That means your time playing golf, tennis, whatever you do outside is getting limited, but you can always find things to do inside, including craft axe throwing in Lincoln. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 9 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, from noon to 11 on Friday, Saturday, and from noon to 9 on Sunday. Parties and events are welcome anytime. For more information, call them at 402-802-9696 or go to craftaxethrowing.com. That's Craft Axe Throwing, 18th and N in Lincoln.
The worst of times can bring out the best in each of us. Doctors, nurses, and frontline workers have labored selflessly to keep us safe during the health crisis of our lifetime. How do we thank these heroes? It's simple. Get your COVID vaccine so we can end this pandemic. Variants are on the rise, and we don't want to put these heroes through another health crisis. They have given their all. Now it's up to you. Please do your part. For you, for them, for us.
This message sponsored by the Helmsley Charitable Trust, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
State Farm, this is Bill.
It finally got me, Bill.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes.
Oh.
Year after rim-wrecking year, it's tormented the people of this town. It got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
You hear that? You ain't nothing.
You trash talking a pothole?
Yes, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Work out your stress and get back to feeling great at Planet Fitness. It's a great time to do your own thing. Now through October 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a routine that's right for you with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Plus, check out the crowd meter in our free PF app for the best time to visit. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends October 13th. See club for details.
Hi, Andy Neal of Cartridge World. We are not a big box store that sells everything and specializes in nothing. Cartridge World is your local expert when it comes to streamlining office printing and scanning. No big box can match our proven no-cost lease program. We customize solutions that supply you with multifunction printers and all the required service just for buying Cartridge World ink and toner at a 30% savings. Call for a no-cost consultation, 464-3455, or go online to cartridgeworld.com.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. This month's specials are Sam Adams, Exile Brewing from Iowa, and other fall seasons. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven treatment options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
Businesses from all over the capital city are excited to welcome you to the 2021 Lincoln Expo on Wednesday, October 13th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Safely enjoy one of the region's largest business trade shows as you network, find out about Lincoln businesses, and enjoy the many interactive booths. The Expo has something for everyone, including the popular Lincoln Craft Beer Tour and a free Lincoln t-shirt. Best of all, it's free to attend. The Lincoln Expo, showcasing and celebrating local business.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back.
Well, party starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break with Sip and Jake. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer, and today is a special day. Schaefer came in early. He brought Casey's breakfast pizza, and we learned, because we don't know things at the top of our head, it's because it's his birthday today.
Yeah.
Birthday!
Happy birthday. Big happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
34-year-old Mike Schaefer.
It's
a birthday. What are you going to do today?
I will work. I will ride in the car with Happer.
Yes, that'll be fun.
Where are you riding to?
We're going to go do our Hot Wheels, Happer's Hot Wheels. We're going to go visit the Rock at Shoemakers.
Yeah, priced right on. They're going to go drive all over the Shoemakers back in a new car. It's fun. Happer's Hot Wheels.
Oh, okay, cool.
Apparently, Sipple doesn't.
I can't hear everything. Okay, so what kind of car are we driving?
I'm not sure yet. That's a surprise. Each week
are
we
you
go
driving to Shoemakers
and back
to the Rock.
Test drive.
Yeah, to the Rock. If you want, we can get out and pet the Rock, and you can come if you want to. You can sit in the back.
They're actually 11:15 or so for price right on.
Well, you know what I'm doing at 11:15.
Sitting at Shoemakers.
Football availability. But hey, hold on. This is pretty cool. Do you guys go into Shoemakers?
No.
There's
really not much that Shoemakers has to do with it, other than that's like the landing point
that's
where
the
we
spot
turn
to
around.
drive to.
So you could keep going to Emerald. Just keep it rolling.
Good.
Yeah, keep going to Emerald.
Maybe one of the days we'll go.
Yeah,
if we
shop.
find ourselves in a nice conversation.
There's an ice cream shop in Emerald. Just keep rolling.
Okay.
Have you been there for a while?
Oh, what is that called? I took Shelby there.
They had a restaurant that closed down over there.
Yeah, it's across the street from Merle's is the ice cream place.
Yeah, Merle's closed.
I
can't think of the names.
Yeah, I can't either.
Okay, so you guys, you should go into the truck. Go into Shoemakers.
And the bit's not really about Shoemakers.
It's about driving the car.
I know, but I mean, you might as well just get some fun out of this.
Well, we could get her
just driving the car.
We could get her Christmas shopping done at Shoemakers. I remember that conversation as well as anything we've ever.
Definitely have some new quilts in there.
Are you going to buy one and bring one in here?
You're gonna get one.
I'm not getting. Oh, that's my gift. I'm getting a quilt.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have in the office. Yeah, sitting back
Elvis quilt. Wouldn't you like? What would Elizabeth think?
Quilt.
Yeah. No, what would Elizabeth think of an Elvis quilt?
She might say, "You leave that at the office, maybe." You can leave that at the office.
I know what would happen if you did leave it at the office. People would use it to like cover it because Bach and Tom get very cold. So they if you leave that coat here, Sipple, which sometimes you do, they'll wear it. They'll put parkas on during the day.
Is that right?
That's an office coat.
It's insane.
Yeah. So they'll have the Elvis quilt draped over them if you leave it here.
One of the greatest.
You should get us an office. Could you get us an office Elvis quilt?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's the one thing I should do. I mean, to contribute a little bit around here.
Elvis quilt for the office.
Well, we need one. So yeah.
Okay, Sipple wouldn't understand this, but one of the greatest things that's happened for me is that the show is no longer at 2:00 because we would come in here and like Tom needed it to be relatively warm and it would just be steaming. It'd be like walking into a
78 degrees.
Yeah.
Seriously? Because Jake, you know what Jake does.
Yeah, it's Icebox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we.
So it changes.
I'm closer to Icebox than.
Is it capable of being warm in this? Is it capable of being warm in this?
Oh yeah, you shut that air thing off. It's immediate warm.
Jake, what's going on?
So we would come in at like 2:00 and I would just start sweating immediately. And it wasn't because I was nervous about the show. It's because it's very warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they keep it very hot here. I keep it a proper temperature.
A proper temperature.
You're welcome for that.
Well,
by the way.
this is kind of into the weeds a little bit, but you are directly in front of the thing, so Jake doesn't get it.
I can't feel it over here.
Right. So
it's hot.
Yeah. So the person in your seat's always going to be colder.
No.
Especially if this person wants it to be. 64.
Sometimes it's ridiculous. Yeah. It is.
Just winter coat on like the middle of summer one time. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Schaefer, any plans for the birthday today?
Not really. I mean,
Just covered that.
I just went through it. I was working. Gonna take a card at Shoemakers.
Just covered.
I said at nighttime anything fun. Not like that. I'm taking it back.
I think my wife and I we're gonna go to Ashland. We're gonna go to the tasting room place there, and then we'll walk over to. There's a sports bar that I really like over there. BW's. So
In Ashland,
a rough segment.
In Ashland?
Yeah, in Ashland.
There's a sports bar you really like?
Yeah, no, I'm as intrigued by anyone as having said that out loud. I've been there several times. It's really good food.
Really?
Like, just really good food. And I really like Glacial Till's a fun spot. They have a nice little rooftop that you can hang out on. And
Man.
Simple, you a big cider guy?
So it's
Cider.
Wine,
I
cider.
highly doubt he's a big cider.
Well, I thought it
hard
was.
cider. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, so it's like apple juice, but it's alcoholic.
Oh, no.
It's not margarita. He's out
No.
on
Jake,
it.
would you please tell him the name of my book?
I missed out on all the fun.
That sounds like a great book. I know, right? Can I get one of the? Can I write a blurb? I just want to write a blurb.
The blurb, yeah, the forward, something like that.
I missed out on
All I've ever wanted to do in life is to be invited to write a blurb for someone else's book.
Well, you can't.
Thank you.
Yeah, I missed out on all the fun.
And
No,
then
I'm
you
not.
could write about how much of the fun that he missed. What he
I
actually
saw the fun. That's what he missed out on.
Jake, no, I've never had hard. Are you saying hard cider?
He says hard like it's gonna just knock you out.
Yes.
Hard like Mike Tyson's throwing the punch on the first ring.
It's like, it's like less powerful than a Busch Light.
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
Right.
No, I have not had that. I've not had
You
that.
might like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has Simple had a seltzer yet?
No.
Those things are nasty.
Like, I hate them. I
Stay
cannot
away
believe
from
how
that
many
crap.
people like
That's
this.
garbage.
Everybody's doing a
Well,
seltzer
now there's
now.
just like
There's
every
way too
flavor
many
under
of
the
them.
sun.
I know,
It's like
yeah.
jelly beans. There's just
It
every
is.
possible flavor in every color.
Yeah.
Like that's what seltzers are. now.
Why are you so out on it,
It
Jake?
tastes like crap. It's like why would I?
No, I mean I'm 100% with him here. Like normally I don't want to be with Sorensen when it comes to food.
It
and
tastes like crap.
It tastes like crap.
But it has
all
whatever
seltzers are
taste it's
terrible.
supposed to be is very faint.
Yeah.
And it's just gross. Like I've never been impressed by a seltzer. Not one. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta try this. You gotta try this. They're all bad. Every one of them.
Yeah.
It's like drinking the.
I'm not as strong on.
They have like the same taste to me as like the LaCroix, those waters,
Yeah.
where it's just this like faint little
It's
lemon
worse than
taste.
Just a little kiss of lemon.
Yeah, it's no good.
LaCroix is bad, but it's not as bad as
You guys don't like sparkling
seltzer.
water.
Not a huge fan.
I
And this is
do, but
even
I want it
worse.
to have a stronger flavor, which
Which
explains
so
me
you want
really
it to
well
be
because
pop.
I really like sour beers that are basically just punching you in the face like Mike Tyson.
I like sour beers. Those are good.
I just want the flavor.
No subtleties for these two. Punch me in the face.
Yes, I like that. Thank you. That's what I want.
I appreciate the pizza. You know I'm not going to eat it though.
Yeah,
It's
I
part
do.
of my
We're
morning
all
routine.
aware.
You guys made fun of me before the segment. I
Yeah.
said I don't eat. I like breakfast pizza. It tastes good. I just don't eat it.
It seems principled, Jake. I
I'm
guess
in a routine. I get my oatmeal after the show. It's what I do. All right. Maple brown sugar oatmeal.
Yeah.
That's all I
That's
need.
fine.
Well, you could have a
That's
piece of
fine.
pizza and oatmeal.
You could cut up
That's
the
over the
pizza and
top.
put it with the oatmeal.
That sounds horrible.
That's fine. I'll just have
Have
another.
oatmeal? Shit.
Why not?
Yeah,
I'm
Little
totally
oatmeal.
out here.
I think that's
Well,
invalid.
the first reason he
I feel
said
like a pizza would help the oatmeal.
when we asked him why he doesn't like breakfast pizza, there's still not a great reason. But the first thing that came out of his mouth was, "I don't want pizza in the morning," and I said, "Jake, it's not pizza. It's just a piece of bread with eggs and sausage
Cheese.
on it."
Yeah, eggs, cheese,
I
and
think it
sausage.
tastes fine. It just
It's in the shape of pizza and it's cut like a pizza, but it's not pizza.
This is all about the way you feel after you eat it. It kind of sits in your stomach wrong, and then my day starts off slow,
How
and then
many excuses do you just have ready to go for this?
I'm telling you,
First there's the
If you did like
you don't
maple
want
bill-
pizza, then it's the oatmeal, and now it's your tummy will
it
hurt.
just really feels. It just messes me up. It messes up.
So you're not a big breakfast guy in general.
I like oatmeal.
I mean, not like big breakfast guy, but like big breakfast. Right. So you're not gonna go. We're not gonna see Jake at Village Inn
You guys don't pull that and cut that out. And I don't hear an early break promo. It's just
I
Jake
like
saying,
oatmeal.
I like oatmeal. So you're not a big breakfast guy in general. I like oatmeal.
We're not gonna find Jake at Village Inn
No.
having a
No.
skillet.
Very, very rare.
Okay.
Very uncommon. And if I do, I'm not eating lunch.
You're gonna get oatmeal at Village Inn?
no.
Have you ever actually ordered oatmeal anywhere?
not at a restaurant?
Really?
No. If I'm at Village Inn, I'm eating a brunch. I'm not going to have lunch. Probably. I'm going to have a big meal, which
Okay.
might be.
So you're just out on breakfast.
Well,
Say it again.
I like
I like
brunch.
oatmeal.
I like oatmeal.
You're just out on breakfast. It sounds like.
I like oatmeal.
This is the sense that I'm getting. He likes oatmeal.
Long live oatmeal. Long live it.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hot route! Red 7, red 7, red 7! Hot route! Down, set, hut.
John Gruden is no longer
Oh,
the head
jeez.
coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Who do you think should take his spot? Eric Bieniemy is the leader right now in the clubhouse with the odds.
Well, I mean, it's an interim for now,
Sure.
right? Like, it's not. I don't know. This will change like 47 times. I think the best guy to hire right now.
Jack Del Rio.
No.
I love Jack Del
Who is it,
Rio.
Shane?
Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. That's the guy that's who I want to replace Mike Zimmer. So I don't want the Raiders to hire.
He made Josh Allen very
Wait,
good.
you want who?
Brian
Brian
Dable.
Dable.
Brian Dable.
He's a good coach.
Yeah.
I take him too. Miami will not get him though because we make dumb decisions. Good luck to your Vikings getting him, maybe.
I like oatmeal.
And long live oatmeal. Happer and Shaper is next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.